First, let's just talk about the material. The material on the first samples that you sent back, this was perfect. This material printed well. It's very pliable. It was perfect. This was perfect material. It's white color. When you change to this next run, this new material is a different material. It's more meshy and has no give to it. So I'm not sure why we switched materials, but it is a duller color. So it's almost like a cream color. So it affected all of the shades through all of the masks, even on the gray ones, changing the white to more of a, again, off-white. But again, so this would be the material to use, this neoprene. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a stretchier, and it looks like the sublimation works even better on it. So I think we stick with that. That was perfect. The other part, so let's go, maybe we'll just go on dimensions first. Mask-wise, height was okay, you know. It was perfect for the face there. You're 5 inches, that's good. But we did go from, instead of 2.5 inches on the end, we're now 3.5 inches. So this bunches up on the face on either side. So let's see if we apply it gives this here. So if this was an inch off and an inch off, that would be fine. Take an inch down on both sides. If that means taking some off the bottom and narrowing this, that's okay. Just pull up some from the bottom if you had to. Okay, so for a big guy like me, this is good. But anybody with a smaller face, normal size face, it's just too big on their face. Okay, so that was, so go to 2.5 instead of 3.5 on these edges. And if have to, you could shave some off the bottom. Okay, now if we're looking at graphic, when we did the original white one, the graphic went to the bottom of the stitch. So that means it came down to the bottom of your chin. So it looks like it was shrank and stretched or something. I don't know. Because the idea was to give it body on the mask. That's why we added the curve to the logos here so that it could come up some more. Even if the stitch is near it, that's fine because that's where these hats are here. That's okay. So it came across there, that's okay. And then this would be further down. But again, it looks like it was squished. I'm not sure what happened there, but if you look at the two masks, this one is squished and fuzzy, but a lot of the fuzz is just based on the material that it was used with. Okay, on the other part, on the construction side of it, was the band. Now the band here, it's just too big for a large head, even like mine, big ears. It pulls too hard and doesn't stay behind the ear. So it's too large. So what we were looking at and what I'd sent down was a smaller strap that I'd shared with Justin. Was, even if you looked at these home maps here, it's just a thinner stretch. It's not anything fancy. It's a light stretch, so it gives a pull on the ear, but it's still a lot more givable than these, which are really tight. So this is one piece that's done that way. Okay, so if we shrink again 2.5, I use the lighter cable here, and then again, instead of your squeeze buttons, which are great, these are fine to use. The better alternative to these, and probably cheaper even for your end, is just a rubber gasket that fits on top. So it's almost like just a rubber washer that can just roll on and roll off. So you don't have to feed it through. There's basically, it's super easy. So if you wanted to even, if the mask was already made and this was done, you just put it through there and you roll it on and you're finished. And that would be perfect. So that's the rubber ones there. If we move then to the camo mask, we see we've gone even further. We've gone outside even the stitches, where on the one that was okay was the original one here, again with the stretchier material, so it has a crisper, clearer print than the large one, and it's really big. So again, we're up to that 3.5 inches on the end, so that needs to be smaller. And if that means giving some take on the bottom, that's fine. That'll be okay. Again, so if you took these, and they're printed off, so this is right up near the top, and this is further down. So it's actually slanted. Again, so you'll see like there's such strong straps that they just pull your ears off, even with the give, putting more strap on it. they still pull and even fall off. All right, so again, here's that. So if we shrink these again to the 2.5, it's going to give you a tighter fit. It's going to pull it down, and it won't be so much material. And if you use a lighter bungee, it won't pull on this and bunch that up anyway. So it's going to give it a lighter pull and give you an easier pull there. And if you had to, again, if you had to pull from the bottom, that's okay. To take some material from here, if that cut there causes you to slant in and take some out of the bottom, I think that would be okay. If it was like, you know, maybe a 1/2 inch or something, that would be fine. If that has to be done. All right. So again, so on these guys, just too big. Reasonable, and just, I mean, I think you can tell it's just too big. I think the same thing happened here with Quarantine. Wait. So again, you have the bunch, and a lot of that's going to do with even these straps because they're so heavy. If you lighten those to a lighter strap, smaller strap, it'll give you a lot less pull taking them off of you. And go to the washer. The rubber washer will make it all the much easier for you. Cheaper for you and better for us too. And better for the client, the people who are buying them. All right, let's see. If we're looking at, say, the yellow one, again, mask was good size. It was working out right. And the only thing was, again, was the straps. The 2.5 here on the sides. And then because of the change in materials, it's a little fuzzier on the display. Okay, so that covers those. I think we got those. So again, so it's big topic here. The ends going from 3.5, it's too tall, to 2.5. And if that meant taking from the bottom, that's fine. Going back to the original material, which seems to supplement the logo, is much better, and the graphics much clearer and crisper and more white. So that was good there. Going to the rubber washers, smaller bands, because it's just easier for everybody, I would think. You know, you only have to do one sew, where I know in these you're doing 2 sews, cutting it, sticking it through, and doing 2 sews, which made them also stand out on the sides. This way you could either, similar to these, just sew it into the ends and fixed there, then you don't have a tube of product in there, and they just pull that way. That would be fine too. And then your washers on here for pulling it tighter or looser. So giving it a little bit of string there so it's loose, and they can just tighten it or loosen it. All right, guys, so I think that about covers it. If we looked at, say we looked at the blue one or the black one, this is the same scenario. The logo we made so that it could go up and could stretch down, but again, it looks like it was narrowed and stretched. So you went outside of the stitch. So you'd want to just, I would end my pattern at least just before the stitch or at the stitch, and widen it for tallness, because the idea really is to go between your stitch lines, where your stitch lines end, your graphic can fit there. And even with this graphic, the way we made these a little bit taller in the middle was so that it could come up a little bit further. Even if there was a stitch in there, you know, it would just run right to the middle of it there, between Innovation and Zoom University. Okay, let's see. I did notice that. All right. Yeah. Okay. If you have any questions, please let's confirm these, that we're good, that we've lowered the resolution and the size of the graphic, reduce the ends, reduce the ear pieces. Either use a washer. I would use the rubber washer. I don't know. It just seems like the way to go. I mean, they would be a lot cheaper than the pull lines, I would think, but I'm not sure. That's your end of it, and to let us know. And go with the white material, the neoprene net. The cotton back was perfect. That works good. If it's possible to finish off the cotton across the back, that's good. Okay, that works fine. The white cotton was a good placement. Pouch is good for its opening. And then just watch the lines. That's all, you know. Try to watch the stitches. I noticed some stitches where if the nose is in the middle, the stitch was like 2 inches over, but you know, I know some are going to get through rough, you know, because it's new for all of us. Okay, so any questions, please let me know. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.